And we're live. Hello there. Or I should say goodbye, possibly goodbye there to Star Wars forever or for a good amount of time. Welcome to Juan is the loneliest number, and I have some news for my audience. I caught COVID recently. So now I am in quarantine in one, or I should say one, but not with a JUAN, that would be racist, is the loneliest number for me as I'm spending a lot of time in quarantine just playing video games like this one, The Revenge of the Sith for the PlayStation 3. And oh god, it's frozen time. But joining me is John Davies from Cinema Obscura
Hey,
to
hey, hey.
hey talk about what may very well be my goodbye to Star Wars after this episode because I've seen enough rescue missions, I've seen the Bad Batch, and I see where this is going, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But before I even get into that, John, what were your thoughts on today's episode?
I'm with you, but I'm not negative about it at all. I'm still digging it. It's just this is the Star Wars formula. Last week or the week before, I coined the phrase live action animation. That's exactly what this is. It took them 4 episodes to get here. To get us the Bad Batch level of Star Wars that we knew was coming. But it's like whatever. Like it's still fun. They're still having fun with it. It still is new content from Star Wars, even if it is the same old story over and over again. Um, yeah, I don't know. They just it took them like I was thinking about. I knew you were going to say what you just said, so I was like, I was thinking about it, and it's just it did take them 4 episodes to get to it. The old let's just rehash some stuff that we've that everybody's seen already a million times, and they did that with this episode in full. But I'm not disappointed. I knew it was coming, and it's still pretty. It's still unbelievable. All of Star Wars is totally unbelievable and ridiculous, but I'm still having fun. Whatever.
I mean, it doesn't even look that pretty to me. A lot of Obi-Wan, like this show in general, isn't particularly well choreographed or shot. Like some of the editing is just bad. Like I think I pointed out, for instance, last week there was that shot where Darth Vader got up from his chair and
Yeah.
like they could have just cut halfway through him getting up, but like the camera just or the editor just kept it there where you could like basically get a crotch shot like in the frame. I'm going, what the hell are they doing with that? And there's some more editing like this here. And more so than the editing, Star Wars has always been known for its, kind of wooden performances and acting. And it can get better because the sequel trilogy, for as much as I didn't like it, it did have some of the best acting Star Wars has seen. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, like John Boyega puts a lot of heart into it. So does Daisy Ridley, and I mean we haven't seen her after that those Star Wars movies much. I wonder if she was the
Not yeah.
of a ton of online bullying and whatnot. I'm not sure. But yeah, this was an example where it's like the one thing I really didn't need to see was uh a child acting alongside of an actor who, I mean, Moses Ingram, so far, I really did like her in the show. I think she's actually been kind of dynamic to watch, but this was not her best hour in this episode. It was just a lot of tell me where Obi-Wan is. No. Okay. Well, I don't know what to do. And I don't know why we even have this story. I mean,
Yeah.
we have two episodes left. Why are they giving us filler at
This is
this
what they do. This is for the kids. It's not made for us who are just as old as Obi-Wan. We're old,
yeah.
decrepit, disillusioned old men. You're supposed to put yourself in the eyes, like behind the eyes of a 10-year-old, and be like, oh shit, they put her in a chair, and that's kind of terrifying if you think about it that way. Like the what could have maybe happened to her in this episode is just scary as hell. It's like, oh shit, the Empire is like for real. They take her and the crazy whatever the hell room that was with all the red lights. It looked like Snoke's throne room a little bit, but yeah, it's not. And from day one, I've said this: like the Star Wars is not for us; it's for the kids. If I was 10 years old, this episode would have been probably the coolest thing that I've seen ever in my whole life.
Okay,
If I was a Star Wars fan,
but if anything's made for kids, like you could still Toy Story is made for kids, and look how fantastic it is where the kids and the adults can enjoy it at the
yeah.
same time. As a matter of fact, I'll give a little early publicity to a film that'll be coming out later this month called Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. And in Marcel, like that's geared towards kids, but also it's something that the kids would love, but the adults will cry at the same time. And here, this was Star Wars' chance. This was their chance to really take their time with the character and explore not just his regrets and being sad in the cave, which is what I loved in the first episode. It took its time. It respected my patience.
Well, they
And
gave you that. They gave you your quote unquote fan service in this first episode, and then they're just gonna apply the Star Wars outline to the rest of the show. That's what they're gonna like, after what they did with Boba Fett. We had high hopes coming into this one. You can't say you didn't see this coming.
no, I didn't.
we
That's what I
we
was.
all saw this coming. We all knew this was going to happen. This is the way Star Wars has been Disneyfied since day one.
Yeah. They just keep
You
going in
know,
circles like Obi-Wan right here
yeah.
in my game. It's just why can't they do something different? They can be they
I
can
mean,
be
at the very least, the whatever this like this is the same. Like I keep touching on this too. This is the same company that's responsible for what's happening in Marvel, and Marvel's doing everything right. Like everything that they're doing is on point for them.
no,
They're
just
doing a lot of stuff right, and introducing new characters, getting into the younger generation the right way. And this shows this Star Wars in general is just like, we're just going to rehash everything constantly. The only thing this episode was missing that we haven't seen in Star Wars yet was the Millennium Falcon flying through stuff and blowing stuff up. We saw the
oh, it's
sneak into a
coming.
base thing. We saw the Obi-Wan getting out of a precarious situation, which two ships saved him from hundreds of like. No, that ending sequence is ridiculous. And if I was a little kid, I'd be like, "What? How did they? No, I don't think so." But whatever. It's Star Wars. It's been like that since the beginning.
Well, it has been to a certain point. I think Star Wars started to get like that since Return of the Jedi, but
Yeah.
it wasn't like that during The Empire Strikes Back. But it has been like that, and it's very tragic it has been because you have an entire universe that you can use to your advantage. And instead of using a lot of that universe, which they do in terms of imagination, I'd say more so with this show than anything. Dagobah is a gorgeous planet. Or not Dagobah, I should say Dantooine, Leia's home planet, is a gorgeous planet, as are all these other places. But I'm sorry, I'm generalizing here by just saying all these other places. The other sort of like real nice planet they had was that place that was like Star Wars Underground, the canceled show, in the second episode where they're having like their little chase, which again poorly paced action sequence, and here another poorly paced action sequence with like you said the snow speeders coming in where the the budget of television is starting to show its ugly face with some of this episode when those snow speeders come in to rescue our heroes. And I'm not even going to throw up the spoilers banner in this episode because there's quite literally nothing to spoil aside from like one tiny moment in this episode that I liked, but everything else, like it was like, oh, let me guess, people are going to come into a base. They're going to disguise themselves like stormtroopers, which they don't disguise themselves like stormtroopers.
That surprised me when he knocked that lone stormtrooper out. I was like, okay, here we go. It's like, oh man, here we go.
Yeah.
You know,
Or when Reva just managed to knock those two stormtroopers out by simply like slapping them in the face. What is their armor made of? Their armor
yeah.
is just bad. Like they
Well,
don't
it's
do.
plastic. It's not good. The second generation armor is not as good as the clone armor. Everybody knows that, and they showed that. Yeah, when she grabbed the one from the underneath the helmet and like pulled him towards him, pulled him towards her with the helmet. It's like, what? Seriously? Okay, I guess you're an officer. Whatever. I played the video games and I never get away with shit like that. I usually die, but whatever.
Yeah, that's the thing. This game we felt very gamey, you know, just in terms of that, where it's like, okay, sneak into the bad guy base, retrieve the girl. Okay, you got to get out, dress up as, you know, the bad guy, which they've done since 1977. You know, and this time I don't know how the bad guys didn't even notice that Obi-Wan was dressed up as one of them. I mean, he looks like a homeless guy when he was.
They're all just so terrible at their jobs. Like, seriously. Like the dude that let Tala in the first place. It's just like, oh, that's how the Empire works. You just have to be a bigger jerk than the other guy, and you're going to get past him. Like, yeah, it's ridiculous. But that's Star Wars. The shooting the button thing too, shooting the door button thing. It's totally random throughout Star Wars. It either locks the door, unlocks the door, opens the door, or closes the door, or any combination of those, and it always is positive for whoever happens to shoot the door button. It's hilarious, but that's Star Wars.
Yeah,
we're never going to stop seeing it.
Yeah. It's like the trick to any door issue is just shoot it with a gun. You know, that's
whatever
fine.
you want to happen is going to happen.
Yeah.
If you shoot it with a gun.
Which that's fine. I mean, if that's, you know, that's an old gag, that's a callback. I'm not sure if they had that callback again this episode. I know they had it in the third episode when Obi-Wan was having some problems trying to get through the little security checkpoint, and there was that you know, little control panel, and
that he could have walked around very easily.
He could have like hopped around it.
And the fire pit that separated Vader and 25 stormtroopers from 2 people, they could have just walked around it, and they didn't.
Yeah, I want to think.
Whatever.
I want to think the writers are smart enough where Darth Vader intentionally let him go, just so then like he could have a proper duel against Obi-Wan. But you know, I also
I don't
think
know
the writers are that smart, and they just figured, oh well, she'll blow it up, and then like he won't be able to get around.
Pretty much ridiculous. I mean, if you were in the sandbox in your backyard and you're 13 years old and you got all your guys out and your ships and everything, yeah, sure. That's exactly how it would go down. You know, it's the Fast and Furious formula. It's just, you know, bouncing a bunch of cars up against each other. Oh, that looks so cool. Ah!
Yeah, that's what kind of turns me off of the whole thing. Is that it's always it's more about kids playing with their toys and less about filmmakers.
Yep. It's been about that since like the first 2 movies were about filmmakers and opening up our minds to some really cool stuff. And after Empire came out, the industry, in quotes, got scared and were like, we can't let these people have real content. It just has to be toys and marketing and Ewoks. You know, okay, you got us for 50 years. You got us, and that, you know, I'm still not unhappy with it, but it is just, you know, the Bad Batch formula is kind of disappointing, to be honest with you. And you know what they did to my boy Boba Fett, and you know, everybody's screaming about them hurting canon by killing the Inquisitor. It's like, did you forget that Lucas destroyed canon by reissuing the reissues? Han shoots Greedo. 2 scenes later, Greedo's in this.
Oh, you broke up a bit there. I think we lost John a little bit.
Hands on his tail or whatever. Greedo's sitting in the background 10 minutes after he got shot in Tatooine.
Yeah.
In the barn. So it's like, what? I'm just here to enjoy what's here, man. Seriously, I don't care what is what. It's just like, it's fun. I'm a little disappointed the Inquisitors haven't done the helicopter thing yet. Like that, having Reva do the helicopter thing to chase one of those ships down instead of throw whatever that was at her, like a fuel cell at that one ship. That would have been a lot cooler.
Yeah.
Where are you guys at? Where are they at?
That would have been cool if she helicopters to the top and just like stabs way through the
Yeah.
cockpit.
It's
Like
like you're
that
not
would have
getting
been
away. That
dope.
that one's getting away. This one's not getting away. She helicopter. Like seriously, there's a lot of cool stuff within the Star Wars universe that, again, like we were disappointed in the Boba Fett show. They didn't do anything with, and they're also not doing anything with. It's just, we're chasing Omega.
Yeah.
Good soldiers follow orders for 22 episodes again.
Yep.
No wonder it got greenlit for a second series. It's not going anywhere in the first one.
And it's going to be the same exact shit with the next
For real.
season. It's going to be the same thing. And it's like here's the funny thing. If they want to just have fun adventures, can we have a fun adventure that isn't the same fucking events as as A New Hope, or I should really say Star Wars, where they go in the Death Star and do the whole, oh, we got to sneak in, sneak out, and blast our way out thing. Like, can we just have one fucking like fun adventure that doesn't involve that? At least the Clone Wars had shit like that, where they did different fun things in their filler episodes. And here it's like, if you're gonna have filler, which you shouldn't in a 6-episode mini series where your episodes are 30 to 40 minutes, give or take, you should be doing a lot more. I mean, you have Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen available right there. Just make the drama about them. Fuck Leia. Deliver her, drop her ass off to Dantooine, and fucking move on with the fucking story. I'm getting fucking sick of it. Like there. Now they made me snap, and I swore a bunch of times on my podcast. But like, I'm serious. It's seriously just frustrating to watch this. It's like you can make this for kids, but you could do more than just fucking the stupid fucking Death Star a million times.
And is that what we're going to get from them? Is just every other series is going to have a new baby cute kid character that we all get to fall in love with for 10 minutes and then get sick of like really quick? Because, Boba Fett, they avoided that, but I mean, they did what they did, and that wasn't pleasant.
Yeah.
It's just
at least like Boba Fett didn't have like a little salacious crumb following him around him that's like a pet or some shit like that, But like, but yeah, that was the one that didn't have the cute kid, thank God. But still, that's not. I mean, I guess you could argue the little Power Rangers are like the cute kids in that, but like outside of that, yeah, you have Bad Batch, which has Omega. You have the Mandalorian, which has Grogu, and now you have this, which has Leia, and I bet Ahsoka will have a kid.
Yep,
and I'm sure the
Andor will definitely be rescue mission after rescue mission.
Oh God, yeah,
it's like, and we've got what 3 seasons of that coming. We know at least 2. I think there's 3 coming, and if that's just what this is going to be, and I'm still here for it. It's still like new Star Wars content, but I'm definitely with you in the, man, it is just kind of boring, and maybe we don't need to talk about it, or
yeah. It's like, what can I say? What can I say at a certain point? Stop doing the same thing. Got it. Bye. Who cares? And if we want to talk about in terms of content, I don't really care about content as much as I do with good storytelling. If it's more Star Wars and you just want content, then just give me video games or stuff that they used to do. The great stuff about the old LucasArts games, for instance, was that it expanded the story without, having to waste my time with these stupid, like, if I wanted fun whiz bang adventure, I would actually play a fun whiz bang adventure. I would play something like, well, not this Revenge of the Sith game, it's a movie tie-in, which is like a damn good game actually. But like you would play something like Star Wars Dark Forces Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast, which you play as a character named Kyle Katarn, who, like, the story, when you think about it, is ass backwards. Have you ever played those games?
No, I haven't.
Oh, I gotta give you a copy of them or something. They're great. You actually can play it on PS4. There's there's a port for it that's available, and like the first half, you play it like it's a first person shooter, where you're just going around blasting stormtroopers around. But by the second half of the game, or really halfway through the first act, like you get a lightsaber, and that game makes you feel more like a Jedi than any of the Star Wars games ever made. It literally takes like one kill almost just to kill somebody, like in a lightsaber duel. You're mostly just clashing lightsabers, and you have to be smart with your force powers. You can't just go running in and just fucking use whatever power you want. Like you got to be like, okay, I'm gonna go in this room. I'm gonna force pull these guys, take their weapons, and then I'm gonna push these guys, and then I'm gonna use force speed and go around and like slice them up with my lightsaber. Or if you
Nice.
want to, you could use your force powers and just use your guns. But it's like with those stories, we got to see where Luke Skywalker went after the sequel trilogy. We got to sort of see how he connects to this one character who's had his temptation with the dark side, but was able to power through it, not get that, blah, blah, blah. You know, not go to the dark side. Although he did go briefly there, they could just use content from comic books, video games, novels, you know, things in the expanded universe they threw in the garbage, which at first I was like, okay, I understand why they did that. The expanded universe is unbelievably massive, and it would be impossible to go through all of that without breaking canon. But Disney breaks canon anyways. And if we really want to get into it with breaking canon, if we really want to go that route, George Lucas broke canon with the Phantom fucking Menace when he what remember in Empire Strikes Back when Obi-Wan told Yoda, was I any different when you trained me? Well, turns out Yoda didn't train him, it was Qui-Gon Jinn. Whoever the fuck that guy is, you know?
Yeah, they do that all the time.
Yeah. But anyways, rant over. Rant over on that. I am just mentally and physically exhausted from this series. I mean, not particularly well edited. I mean, some of the visual effects look cheap, and it's the same formula, and they're using the same thing. And I'm sure every other channel is pointing this out. So if they're all pointing this out, what can they do to make this better? What does this show have hope? Do you think they'll pick? Because Star Wars does do this. They do this. I remember the Mandalorian season 2. I was very frustrated because they had an episode that felt like filler, but where they did the same thing. They infiltrated a base, blasted their way out. And they had something a little different where Bill Burr's character used to be a stormtrooper, and you get to see how he was disillusioned from that job, and he fought back against them. He had actually a larger arc in his 10 minutes than Finn did in 3 Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
But they picked it up with that last episode when Bando said goodbye to Grogu, until they kind of deflated that sort of drama very rapidly in the Book of Boba Fett. I mean, in the end, this just shows that they don't really know what they're doing with this.
No, they don't.
Yeah,
It's like they're releasing these like live action comic books, and they're just like, meanwhile, in the Mandalorian, that's how I felt with that Mandalorian episode in the Book of Boba Fett. It's just like it came out of nowhere. It really had nothing to do with the rest of the show. Just like, oh yeah, you remember that cute little green guy? That's why you're tuned into Disney. So here he is for a whole hour with his buddy, the big silver, whatever the hell it is. Okay, good. The Tin Man and the little dude are hijacking an episode of the Boba Fett. What are you guys doing? So is that what's coming next? Is episode 5 going to be an episode of the Boba Fett show real quick? like, oh no, we're going to, make Boba Fett make sense for an hour for you guys, because, we've let you down for 4 episodes and there's only 2 to go. So why don't we just, meanwhile on Tatooine.
No. Like, why don't they? I want my Clone Wars flashbacks, and we didn't get that. And not just for fan service, but excuse me. Sorry, had to hack up a loogie. But not just because of fan service, but just because like I want to see how Anakin was this confident, noble leader in live action, which we got in the Clone Wars series.
And there's probably because this relationship was really fleshed out in that Clone Wars series for 7 years. Mm-hmm. And most of the people watching this Kenobi show have no context. Like they saw Attack of the Clones, where he's like a teenage douchebag the whole time, and he's just a I mean, Anakin is terrible in that movie for so many reasons, not just the acting. Just like the character of Anakin is just terrible. Such an ass.
He's just a whiny brat.
Revenge of the Sith, like fast forwards all the way through the Clone Wars. Like there's 7 years of the Clone Wars or 7 seasons of the Clone Wars that we don't see. And that's the heart that, you know, we hoped they would touch on with this series, because people, you know, the majority of people didn't watch that series. They're like, oh yeah, you know, we have to not only remind people that watched that series how close these two were, but we have to tell everybody else that these guys were actually buddies. Like they were like really close, and they had like a lot of fun together, and like got away with a lot of stuff. And he said Anakin no a whole bunch. And it was fantastic every time you said Anakin no, and you know, Anakin was just like, no, Anakin yes.
Yeah, because every time Anakin went against Obi-Wan's orders, that actually paid off.
No, it always
would help his team like accomplish their mission.
And like how to not have like a 5 or 10 minute flashback sequence to reintroduce people that did know the Clone Wars to the relationship that these two have, and to let other people know the relationship that these two had. Because in Attack of the Clones, they're not together at all. They're separated the whole movie. And Revenge of the Sith, they're together a little bit, but it's pretty much just about the division. And you know, once that 4th act hits and Order 66 comes down, it's, you know, that's a whole different situation. And there's no build up to that. There's just no heart. So we were hoping coming into this that there was going to be some heart, and they're just like, nah.
No, just all the hearts with the little girl. That's what it's with. You know, it's more with young Leia, because we want to know why she would trust Obi-Wan. Cool, mission accomplished. Now she can fuck off. Am I telling a little kid to fuck off?
Well, like you're saying, deliver her within the first 5 minutes. She's saying hi to Bail Organa, and then bye to Ben Kenobi, and then they're onward with, you know, 90 minutes of cool Star Wars story stuff between Anakin and Darth Vader. Like, why are you pussyfooting around with the Inquisitors and all this? You know, it's like, okay, introduce them, that's cool, but we're 4 episodes in, and you're basically showing us how useless they are, and it's just a bunch of infighting, and you know, just a bunch of little like, oh man, it's just I don't know, it's a silly direction that they've taken it with. Coming into this, we praised them, you know, there was high hopes and whatnot. The first episode was fun, but it seems like we're saying the exact same thing we said for Book of Boba Fett.
And for the Bad Batch and everything, is that they don't even give us fan service, really, which was the oddest thing. Like, we talk about fan service, but they don't pick the right stuff to service fans with. You know, if they want to service fans with the Book of Boba Fett, have Boba Fett be fucking Boba Fett, or at least flashback to it. Or have him, or if he's going to be good, okay, if he's going to be good, you need to clearly establish why he's good, more than just, oh, he fucked up and he like wound up in the Sarlacc pit. So what? You know, why is he good other than that? How did he learn from that? And yes, there is that whole like flashback sequence where he's like tripping out on peyote, and he's like wandering around in the desert, you know, and he's breaking from his family's roots by actually breaking the branch of his family, you know, on the tree, that he uses the branch to, you know, carve his gaffy stick with. Okay, that's cool, but it's not explicit enough. If this is meant to be dumbed down and for kids, I don't know why they use such a vague sort of visual reference to evolve Boba Fett's character. When
one of the biggest questionable things about Boba Fett, I mean, obviously there's a lot of them, but when he wanted to take out a biker gang, he went and got a spaceship and he annihilated those guys in like 5 minutes. And then when he had to like take out 2 giant droids that were destroying his city that he was so proud to defend, and you know, he was like, I'm gonna earn their respect. He could have got a spaceship and ended that situation in 5 minutes again, and he didn't. Yeah. He went and got his toy, and it's like, okay, we're selling Rancors now.
He got his Rancor.
You got a plush Rancor? I bought my plush Rancor the next day.
Not to mention he tore up the fucking town
And
with
they
it.
have, yeah, they do like this King Kong sequence where they're destroying half the city. It's like, dude, two two shots with your spaceship, and you could have ended those droids.
Yeah. Kathleen Kennedy doesn't know what she's doing, and I mean, I don't want to blame her explicitly, but then again, it's her face on Vanity Fair. It's her. She's the executive producer, and if she's hiring Dave Filoni and John Favreau and these guys, it's like, are they just one trick ponies too? Like I don't think Dave Filoni is, but I honestly think John Favreau is a guy who's great at making, I'd say, like a movie or two, but not even that. Like, look at it. If you look at Iron Man, great movie, or not great movie, but very, very good, stepping stone for the MCU. You look at Iron Man 2, not so good. You look at the Lion King live version, not so good. This John Favreau is I don't know. I don't know if he's the savior that people made him out to be after Mandalorian season 1, and I kind of had my concerns, but I kind of stayed tight-lipped about it because I thought, well, you know what? If he does do Iron Man and he does do Mandalorian, maybe he does know more what he's. It was like, no, he's like J.J. Abrams. He makes one good thing and then that's it. JJ sets up the mystery box, and we don't know what's in that box. And once we find out, we're very disappointed. With John Favreau, he kind of reestablishes the language of Star Wars in a way, but then there's not much. He doesn't have much further to go with it in terms of a storyteller. And I really thought with Deborah Chow, who produced two of the best episodes of Mandalorian, we would get more juicy story stuff, and instead we're getting stupid rescue mission crap. Which even the third episode, for as many moments as it landed, it did real well. There was a lot of moments where it's still just like, oh, we have to save Leia, and I'm sick of it. I just is this what the next two episodes is going to be? More saving Leia, and then like one final duel between Obi-Wan and Vader, and the duel's not even that great. And I heard in the notes that the duels were going to be like the prequels, like the fights. Well, where's that choreography? I don't see it. Are
Yeah,
we going to
not
see
yet.
it? I heard like Hayden Christensen said he watched all of the Clone Wars to get ready for his role. Well, if he did, for what? What did he get watched them for? Just so he could wear the fucking suit and walk around and not even full body shots? Uh, I don't know. That's it's sad. It's sad. It's like I'm really ready to I'm ready to say hello to Star Wars, and they give me an entire show that's worth watching again and doesn't have a gimmick attached to it.
Holiday
And
special, baby.
yep, so
That's good. That's pretty much it. Like holiday special, holiday special.
oh, they
We're
even
gonna see. We're
redid
gonna
the
see
holiday
everybody.
special.
Oh yeah, no, we got a new one coming this year. That's what I'm saying. Like they're gonna rehook us. They're gonna do all this crap and give us the Bad Batch formula for all their live action BS, and then they're gonna actually have like a good holiday special and be like, you know what, Star Wars isn't that bad.
The holiday special, the last one they gave us was with Legos, and I would have preferred the 77 bizarreness to it. But if there's anyone in the comments section who wants to say what they think they could do to make this show better, if they're disappointed, if we're wrong, please let us know, because it's just us talking, and we always are happy to add more people to the conversation.
Yeah,
But
for a 6 episode series, and to give us as much, literally as much filler as they're doing, and hyping these huge stars, they're like, I don't know, man. They're just deflating the product, really.
yeah, they're killing it. They're killing it. They're killing it with kids. And you want to know something? I don't think kids work in things made for kids. Because when I was a kid, you know what the main thing annoyed me when I saw most things for kids were made were kids. Kids annoyed me when I was a kid. I'm like, no, kids aren't cool. Darth Vader's cool. He's got the armor. He's ripping guys apart. I want to see that. Not, oh, look at me, Obi-Wan. I'm a cute little girl. Go and defend me because I'm like Leia when she's an adult, but as a child. So you could see the roots. Oh, yeah. That's so clever, Disney. Just give us a cute little doll to play. So they did find a way to immortalize Carrie Fisher. They cast a younger girl, in her name, instead of making the sequel trilogy really about her and making her maybe learn to become a Jedi. That they don't know how to do anything beyond surface level storytelling, and that's all this is. It's just very basic surface level when it doesn't have to be. And that's just disappointing. I'll stick it out for the last 2 episodes of this series, but after that, am I really gonna care about Endor? Am I gonna care about? No. Maybe I'll write a review for them. Maybe I'll check them out here and there. But I mean, really, it's like, why would I even keep a Disney Plus subscription if this is what I get? I mean, thank goodness for Miss Marvel. That's the one show that really is quite wonderful. That is a little different. Uh, that is doing a million things incredibly well. But again, the MCU does more things correctly than Disney does, and that's because Kevin Feige's in charge of the MCU. Which the MCU, they're not doing a perfect job either. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness was a steaming pile of crap. Like, now that I think about it, looking back, and we all know what the Eternals was. And I'm sorry, I'm talking too much.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just hoping with the next 2 episodes they can give us something, because like for me, I'm hesitant to rewatch the Boba Fett show. Like, there's really, 7 minutes in the beginning are pretty cool. There's 42 seconds of one episode that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
A bunch of TIE fighters bombing some stuff, and there's one Mandalorian episode buried in there that's super cool. But like, I want to come back to this and be like, I could sit and watch 6 episodes of this again. Episode 4 was kind of shitty, but season 2 of The Wire wasn't that great either, and we rewatched that.
I don't know if I'd put this in the same card as The Wire, because I'm guessing The Wire still progressed the story forward.
Oh, it sure did.
Yeah,
it's only during season 2 everybody was mad. Afterwards, it's like, oh, I know why they did that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So hopefully they do that with that's what they're doing with Star Wars. They're like, oh man, we're just gonna season 2 The Wire them the whole time. They'll get it. They'll get it 10 years from now.
Maybe if they fire Kathleen Kennedy, they will. Mm-hmm. I mean, at this point, it's like she just needs to get the fuck away from Star Wars, because she is qualified. She is a wonderful producer. I understand why George Lucas chose her. I mean, she did produce some of the best damn films with Steven Spielberg out there, and she definitely raised her way to the top. But boy, this is not a proper.
What a plateau, eh? What a plateau.
Yeah.
Just stay there. Stay right where you are. You're good.
Yeah, she's good as a producer, but not as an executive producer. Not as someone who is in charge of this whole franchise. Like, they need someone, like, they need a Filoni, not Filoni. They need they need Filoni, not Favreau, but Filoni, to really kind of look at this and go, okay, here's why this is dragging. But then again, Dave Filoni is responsible for a lot of rescue missions and a lot of cartoon shows. Just no more rescue missions. Period. No more rescue missions. Hashtag no more rescue missions. I'm gonna make that a hashtag so Star Wars learns this and gets it through their thick fucking skulls. No more rescue missions. Chant it with me, folks.
Do some other stuff. Like, go and talk to the witches of what is it? Dathomir. Dathomir. There you go. I was close.
Yeah,
it's been a while.
Very close.
Do some. There's so much stuff in the Star Wars universe. It doesn't have to just be,
kids.
Let's go rescue. Let's go break that guy out of prison. Let's put on his uniform. Let's fly this thing through that thing and blow it up.
So when you were a kid, what did you like seeing in kids' movies? Were they other kids all the time, or was it like Darth Vader or Luke Skywalker? Because there's always the adults that I was invested in.
I mean, I was like in a horror at an early age, so I was like kind of rooted for the bad guy.
Yeah.
Aliens, a Nightmare on Elm Street. You're like, yeah, man, kill everybody, please.
Yes.
Like nobody deserves to die. They're all a bunch of idiots. Please kill Riser real quick.
Yeah. And
Paul
they can do
Reiser.
that with Star Wars if they can snap a kid's neck, why don't they just I mean, do I just want to see Darth Vader go around and kill a bunch of people? No.
Eventually, yeah.
Well,
I
we
want to
already
see him.
got that, but like we got that with Rogue One. I just want to see a relationship
Yeah,
built
it doesn't have to
between
be nonstop, but
yeah. Talking is good. Talking are the best moments in movies, folks. There's nothing wrong with it. Kids like it too. Kids like it when characters are said. Even my little, I mean, not everything has to appeal to my 4-year-old nephew who like will just enjoy anything that they throw in front of the screen. Kids are smart. They're not dumb. Stop treating them like they're dumb. They want something more. They can tell when something doesn't work. Okay, just like the adults can. They're very intuitive. So stop just because guess what? You're not just dissatisfying the adults, you're also dissatisfying the kids when you're making this. So I don't know. I mean, with that said, 2 episodes to go. Are you expecting anything at this point?
am I expecting anything? No, I'm done with expectations. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
take what I get. I'm gonna take what I get and just be happy that there's new Star Wars content, and I'm basically gonna expect like a C average from these people going forward. Like
Yeah.
there's really not going to be anything fantastic. Like yeah, they're probably going to give us moments here and there, but they're never really going to be able to quote on like capture the magic or whatever the fucking saying is, like that Star Wars actually has at its heart.
Yeah.
Like they're just running around in circles and throwing Omega and lay off buildings, and then they're cool, they're safe, they're whatever.
Yeah. Stick to the fan films. They probably have better stuff.
Kind
Heck,
of.
I'll
Or
make a Star
even
Wars fan film. I
like
always
there's
wanted to make. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, like, there's tons of like fan fiction and other fiction that could still be introduced with these shows that are coming out that would not break canon and would not like make the nerds mad or whatever. Like, there's just so much material out there. They don't have to keep going around in circles like this. It's like how can the Venn diagram of everything interesting in Star Wars just be one huge circle of one thing? Like that doesn't make any sense. It should be a whole bunch of circles and a bunch of overlapping stuff that all connects to the Force in the center or whatever. But no, it's just one thing. It's just you're just gonna see a rescue mission over and over, and we're just gonna go around in circles.
Yeah. We're gonna see more rescue missions, and we're gonna see just more characters who are connected to the Skywalkers in some sort of way. And I'm done with the damn Skywalkers after this. So I want a season 2 of Obi-Wan. No, I only want a season 2 if they actually tell a story, do what they were supposed to, and they didn't. Even the music sucks.
Yeah,
Who the hell
if
is the
season 2 is. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Who's the composer to this show? Who does the music? It stinks.
Jeff
Lady,
Williams.
Yeah, Jeff Williams, I think.
Jeff Williams, John Williams' little brother.
Yeah.
Now, for live action animation, we're getting pretty much what we expect. Nothing better really than the Bad Batch or this era of the animation coming from Star Wars. It's the live action situation. It's not going to be much better than that. Like for some reason, the Bad Batch, or not the Bad Batch, but the Clone Wars, the television series, the animated series, was amazing for 5 solid years. How the hell they weren't able to catch that magic and bring it along forward with them into the live action animation and the Bad Batch series, which is a direct continuation of the Bad Batch of the I keep going on of the Clone Wars series. It escapes me. I don't understand how they weren't able to do that. The ending of the Clone Wars is so good. That last episode is unbelievably good. And they were just like, We don't need to keep doing that.
And the reason that worked was because the action was emotional. It
And they
serviced the
built up
story.
to it. They built up
Mhm.
to it. They can't expect us to have all this emotional involvement in 2 episodes with, a fast talking baby Leia. It's just not going to happen.
No.
They have to build up to these moments. They can't just, oh, yo, here we go.
And that's a great point, is that there really isn't anything that feels earned or feels like it's going to lead to anything. I don't know where the show is leading, and I don't mean that in a good way. I just feel like it's going to lead to Obi-Wan saving Leia, or Leia almost getting killed by Reva, and Reva decides not to kill her because she can't kill children like Vader can. So, like, Vader finds out she fails and he kills her, I'm gonna guess, and then the show ends. It's just, I don't want to have to be able to predict where the show's going. I'm sick of being able to predict everything. I'm sick of having characters where I know their fate ultimately. Give me new Star Wars, something with, like, they had that opportunity with the sequel trilogy, and really it was probably a mistake to link it to the old cast. Like, to be perfectly honest, it should have been something entirely different, something that warranted why it even existed. Because the sequel
But
trilogy in general, like, we're like, why is there a resistance? Why is everything the same? I thought the Empire was destroyed. Who's this
yeah,
First Order? They didn't answer any of that. And they'll tell me, well, Star Wars never answers any questions. That's bullshit. When we saw the first Star Wars, we didn't need the questions, the answers as to who the Empire and the Rebels were. We got it within a singular image. But but the prequels did build upon how these things came to be, and it would have been really fascinating to see how the First Order came to be, more than just that they're this sort of external threat. But we're just getting cheap, lazy writing, and that's what this is: lazy fucking writing. And with a team full of like 4 writers that the show has, how they can't do better than this is just absolutely baffling to me. That I think that's all I have to say about that. Is there anything you want you wanted to add before I go back into my isolation?
no, I don't think I could say anything new without repeating myself. I think we're good. Nothing happened in this episode. Let's hope for something happening in the next 2.
Yeah, let's hope for some Clone Wars flashbacks. Let's hope for some actual some reason why there some chemistry between Obi-Wan and Vader. Let's see them talk it out. Let's see them talk about their problems and have a duel like the one you're seeing on screen right now. What are we doing? Come on, folks. Do better. I'm serious. After this, I might just not do any more Star Wars shows after this, because I'm done. I'm done. I'm done getting my emotions played with. You know, if this is what they're gonna do, then you know I don't need to waste my time with it. I could just write an article. I could just write a quick article and say, well, here's what's wrong with Star Wars still, and here's why they need to do better. I mean, I don't want to fire Kathleen Kennedy. I think that's sort of reactionary. It's kind of like when a baseball team fires the manager and they think it's going to instantly make their team better. It doesn't really. I just think they need to, whoever has a stranglehold on all these creative differences. I hope it's not Kathleen. If it is strictly her, then she needs to go. But Disney needs to let go of their stranglehold of all these creative decisions and let the filmmakers do their thing. And if this is the filmmakers doing their thing, then get better filmmakers. You know, because I mean, I can only not blame the filmmakers to a certain point, to a certain extent, and where I'm like, no, you could have filmed that better. No, you could have spent more time with the visual effects. No, you didn't need to have a little girl acting opposite of the least engaging character in the series. you know the, that it's just everything they could have done wrong, they did do wrong with this. And I always have that feeling of anxiety going into every episode. I'm like, oh God, it's just gonna just be another episode where I'll have nothing to say other than the same old complaints. Is this just gonna be more filler? Yeah, I mean, because like literally whenever I watch these shows, I don't know if you do the same thing, but do you ever just like check how much time's remaining to see if there's gonna be anything good or if they're just gonna waste your time?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
No.
none of them are like, wow, this has been on for a while. you know?
Yeah. It's more like this is like I just started this. How much time do I have? Uh-oh. Are they gonna go anywhere?
Yeah.
No. Well, John, where can we find you at?
Oh, where are we? Where are we? We're on CAN TV at 11 p.m. on Monday nights, 11:30 on Thursday nights here in Chicago. That's Chicago Public Access, cable channel 19. Everything that we've ever had on CAN TV is available on Vimeo, so definitely check us out over there. Cinema Obscura, cinema
Yeah.
with an S.
And if they want to submit a film to you, is there like an email they can send it to? I think we have it in the description.
Yeah, I got Cinema Obscura Chicago at Gmail, all one word, cinema with an S again. And yeah, we share everything, you know, short films, trailers, fake or not, animation, web series, documentaries. Wow.
Documentaries, yeah, but same way.
Documentaries.
You know,
We share it
tomato,
all.
tomato. Yeah.
Like pretty much everything indie we share, music videos, whatever. And
Yeah. So it's Cinema Obscura Chicago?
Cinema Obscura Chicago, yeah.
Cinema
All one
Obscura
word.
of Chicago at gmail.com.
On the Gmails, yep.
Cinema Obscura. I'm gonna pop it in the comics now. Cinema
Nice.
Obscura.
Yeah, we got season 8 is running right now. I'm working on season 9 and 10. And yeah, it's been a blast doing this. We get 16 hours of content every year. So if you got something you want to share, shoot it on over to us.
Yeah. Submit your films there from all over the world, because all over the world you
Yeah.
guys are accepting things. And look, my desktop's in the frame now because that's quite literally me running out of time with my video. I've played the entire Revenge of the Sith game now, and that's it. Oh, folks, if you liked what you saw, feel free to drop a comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'm Mike Crowley from You'll Probably Agree. John Davies from Cinema Obscura. Please, Star Wars, be better. Good. And remember, if you want to check out any of my stuff, you can go to YPA Reviews. The YPA stands for You'll Probably Agree.